Okay, so today we are going to meditate on trauma. And by that I mean we're going to call up a traumatic memory and we're going to release it, try to bring some regulation into ourselves, and then we're going to allow ourselves the freedom and space to move on, love ourselves, and acknowledge what we really deserve in life. So trauma is when we experience an event that causes major dysregulation in the body. And I say major because we have difficult situations, we have difficult and uncomfortable events that happen almost daily, depending on what we do, how many people we're exposed to, what our life is like, right? We're constantly bombarded with stimulus, and we're constantly dealing with personalities that are different from ourselves, which can bring a feeling sometimes of discomfort or unease. Sometimes it might not be daily, it might be weekly or monthly that we feel kind of, oh, that was a disruption, depending on our internal state, because everyone deals with things differently. Everyone has different tolerances. That's okay. But trauma or complex trauma, so when we have multiple instances spread out over time that are somewhat related to each other or not, anyway, those are events where we've been disrupted internally to the point where our mood regulation is off, our ability to self-soothe is off, our ability to feel safe in the world is off, and quite honestly, our ability to feel safe with ourselves is off. And this can happen because early in life, maybe something happened and we were children and we couldn't defend ourselves, but we inherently feel like we should have taken care of ourselves and we didn't. We might also have issues with authority figures if they were the perpetrators or if they just weren't there to protect us. So it can lead to a whole bunch of interpersonal related issues, but also an internal sense of guilt and shame within ourselves for not being able to protect ourselves, right? So we can become victims in the world because of an instance where we actually weren't there. What were we supposed to do? So that's where the self-forgiveness comes in, because we can build self-sabotaging habits due to trauma. Both things like addiction to try to escape our own bodies, to escape existing, to escape feeling the pain and processing the complex emotions that come with trauma because they are severe. And also just self-sabotaging behavior where when we do get to a place where we feel safe, because it's so unfamiliar, we bring out all of our negative traits, or maybe not negative, but all of our traits where we know we can cause pain and struggle. Those will come out because we're afraid. We're afraid that we don't deserve to feel safe. We're afraid that we don't deserve to feel okay. We're afraid that if life is too good, we won't be able to protect ourselves, because we do what's familiar to us versus what's healthy for us sometimes. And we really have to break that self-sabotaging behavior in order to move into a healthy life. And a healthy life is closer and closer to living into the present moment. And the way to do that is to release those old traumas. So we're going to get into the meditation. It is important to note that there is science and people suggest that there's epigenetic trauma. So it might not be your traumatic event that comes up. It could be an event from like an ancestor. That can happen. So whatever does happen, whatever you see when we first go into the guided meditation, just know that it's okay, that you're safe, and we'll self-care afterwards. Okay. All right, so we're going to close our eyes. We're going to take a deep breath. We want to make sure that we feel that breath in the belly as the belly moves up and down. Deep belly breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to count us down from 5. As I do, we're going to feel more and more relaxed. So 5. We feel the crown of our head, our forehead, our neck, our ears, our jaw relax into the surface and air beneath us and around us. We feel as our eyes grow heavy. Face becomes soft. 4, we feel as our shoulders, our arms, our elbows, our hands, our wrists, our fingers melt into the surface beneath them. All stress and tension fading away. 3, we feel as our breastbone, our chest, our spine, our heart, our lungs, our digestive organs, all of them relax and release into the surrounding tissue, into the surrounding earth and air, feeling safe and at ease, calm. 2, we feel as our hips expand and release, feeling safe in the space supporting them. The muscles of the body releasing in the thighs, surrounding the knees, the shins, calves, feet, toes. 1, our whole body is at ease and safe, rest. We find ourselves walking on a path. As we walk along this path, a clear, starry sky is overhead. We come to a door. We open up the door. And as we do, we see something that fills us initially with dread. What's in front of us is a scene from the past where we felt wholly and completely afraid. You might see a younger version of us, scared, maybe alone, maybe with people. But we know that they don't know what to do. That whatever pain lies in front of them is something that they had never prepared for. We watch as the terror floods them, as the guilt and shame hits them. And just before something can happen, we, the adult versions of us, step in front of the child, the younger us. And whoever or whatever might have been about to hurt us, we put up a shield in front of us and our inner child, the child that was afraid. And we say no more. We let that thing, person morph. And instead of it being whoever hurt us, becomes a ball of void energy. And we put the shield up around us and our child self, creating a dome. This toxic energy that used to tether to us, now severed, tries to get in. And we hold strong. And we turn to speak to the inner child within us. And we let them know that this is who we are now. We ask them how old they think we are. And whatever they say, we let them know that we're actually able to take care of ourselves now. That this is our age, this is what we do. And we let them know that while this might have happened, we will do everything in our power as an adult, as the authority in the room, to keep ourselves safe, healthy. We can let go of recreating this pattern. And the inner child in us might look scared, they might look worried, they might look skeptical. That's okay. But we know that we can do this. We give the inner us a sword, we give ourselves a sword, and on the blade it says truth, and we let them know that we're going to use this to protect ourselves. And as we do, we let the barrier down, shoving the sword into the void energy. And as we do, the swords light up the void. And instead of the dark void energy trying to get its way at us, it and the whole scene surrounding us are enveloped in light. And we see, instead of the room or the space, instead of the person, our inner child grows to be a reflection of us. And we're now in a safe space, someplace we both call home. All of the void energy that once was around us, trying to break in, is transmuted into crystalline particles that whirl around us, creating a beautiful design. We're transformed into whatever feels comfortable for us. Might be ball gown or a t-shirt, but something that speaks to who we are now. What that event taught us, and the resilience that we choose to embrace by being strong enough to come out and take care of ourselves. We hold each other, hugging. We look around us. Maybe we see an art studio. Maybe we see a set. Maybe we see a kitchen, a hospital, an office, a home. We see around us what makes us truly happy, what matters to us most, what we want to prioritize, and what brings us joy. And we remind ourselves that we're worth it, and that when we show up like this in the world, we show others that they're worth it. And our inner self looks back at us. Maybe they're crying. Maybe they're happy. Ask them if there's anything that we can do over the next few days to allow them to feel safe. And if there's something, they let us know. If there's not, or if they really just want some goal-oriented behavior, maybe it's time to introspect and realign. We let them do that too. Self-care can mean taking care of ourselves. It can mean a business-oriented mindset. We listen to whatever it is that we know we need to feel safe and empowered in the world. And once we know, we take a deep breath and we exit through the door. We find ourselves back on the path, surrounded by stars. We notice that there's no door anymore. There's a door frame, but that we're allowed and able to come and go, that we're one with the self. That if they want to walk a different path, go into the stars, they can. And we can come and go as we please in that memory and all other memories. So we see the stars overhead, we take a deep, beautiful breath, breathing in the majesty of nature. Gratitude flowing for our change and shift in mindset. And I'm going to count us up from 1 to 5. As I do, we're going to feel refreshed, rejuvenated, ready to move into our day. 1, we feel as the breath moves in and out of our bodies. 2, we become aware of the blood flowing, the digestive process taking place, the air moving in our bodies. 3, we feel as some of the muscles in our bodies start to contract, preparing for movement. 4, we feel refreshed and ready for today. 5, we open up our eyes, ready to go. All right, so we're going to reflect 5 minutes. Do whatever reflection works for you. And yeah. Okay, so that's 5 minutes. If you need more time to reflect or work on whatever you're working on, obviously take that time. Yeah, mine's just about a girl who like hid herself away from the world. There's a theme. Making, or basically like enacting a curse on herself, where she made a list of all the things that were unsafe in the world day in and day out, until one day in her tower of isolation a beautiful bird comes and sings, and she sits and actually hears the beauty of the bird, and from there decides that she's going to sit and take in some of the other beauty. She starts to make a new list. Instead of a curse, it's a kind of, I guess, a spell to lift the curse. And so day in and day out, she starts to create lists of all the things she can see from on high that are beautiful, until she decides that she doesn't just want to make a list anymore. She wants to go out into the world and see those beautiful things. So, and experience them. So that's my story. Really, it's just a metaphor. But I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry if it hurt a little bit. And good job. So congrats on doing it and connecting with whatever might have previously hurt and might still hurt, because sometimes, even though we've processed things, there's new layers that we didn't realize were there. So congrats on doing that, because it takes a lot of courage to face our trauma, and it takes a lot of self-compassion to allow ourselves the space to heal from it. So have a good day, and thank you.